in.
Returning players, I don't know.
We are. What is happening? It says start video transmission.
Wait, what?
It says working on your live stream, and so like update settings for YouTube, done, apply, optimized settings, and then it's just waiting to start video transmission. And
that's odd. Oh, it's because of your delay, I think.
600 seconds?
Yeah, so it's gonna 5-minute delay, so all of this will end up in the VOD.
Okay. So what do you wanna...
Wait. Okay. Can you stream in Discord at the same time?
I don't know. Why do I have to stream in Discord? Oh, so you can see.
Yeah,
Alright,
so
there you go.
So we can see your inventory and stuff like that. Just pull out of my third monitor. Okay, so we do 2 weeks in. You want to open your inventory and then show me how much bronze and silver you have. Because I bet you have a reasonable amount. Yeah. So this is like the thing that all new players and the returning players doing their master quests and stuff end up doing is they end up floating like 1.5 million bronze. I think I've seen up to 3 million now. For reference, there's like very few veteran players that have anywhere near that because the amount of like bronze sinks in the game is really high, except you don't have to spend money on blue units and stuff like that when you're starting out. But one of the worst things that you could do is buy unit kits and stuff like that with bronze. Unfortunately, they don't tell new players that, right? So up until now, you're like probably getting into purple units now. Yeah. I imagine you have a few of them. Yeah. So now the unit kits are actually starting to cost you money, and replacing unit kits, like if you go to one of your guys, go to IPGs or something like that, and then see what the unit kits are. So click them, and then the 67 out of 100 bar below the level there, click that. Yeah. So what it wants you to do is it wants to pay 21,000 bronze to replace unit kits, and that is about the worst fucking button you can hit in the game as a new player. Because it doesn't seem like it costs a lot right now, but like there's way better things to do with your bronze than spend it on unit kits.
Yeah.
One of the first things that all these new players, especially like returning players, need to get back into is like how to make silver. And as a new player, you only have one option to make silver, and that is to go to the horse seller to buy green chanfrons, like the top item. I think it's called a bronze chanfron or something. They're uncommon rarity. What you want to do is you want to go to the purchase menu and uncheck the box that says spend bronze coins first. And what that'll do is it will buy an unbound one with silver. And when you have an unbound bronze chanfron, you can salvage it and get unbound materials. So the shielded chanfron, which is the top one there. So purchase that and then uncheck that box. Yep. And now buy it with silver. When you buy it, your silver will go down by 400. You can check the don't ask me again, but that'll pop up every day after you log in the first time. And so just buy all of those until you run out of silver. If you click purchase, you can hit enter. Yeah, to confirm the purchase dialog. Alright, so you're out of silver, which is cool. So now what you want to do is you want to turn around and go to the smith. We'll salvage things for you. And when you salvage these, you will get unbound materials, which can be sold on the market. So the salvage cost will cost you bronze, but it will cost you silver to buy. And then there will be a very, very minuscule tax when you sell these things on the market, but it adds up to nothing. So what you're doing right now is you're paying a very, very small amount of bronze to salvage all of these items. And these items, when you salvage them, sell for more than you paid to get the item itself.
I'm selling these derivatives?
Yeah. So the big one here is that silver dust. Silver dust sells for 1,500 silver consistently right now in the game. It usually stays around 1,500 silver. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. Yeah, the powdered silver. You can buy the blue items from the horse seller and break them down into gold dust. However, while you will still make money by doing that, you will make a little bit less money. Because gold dust only sells for around 1750 to 1800 rupees. So while it is a net gain, it is less of a net gain than just spamming out the shielded champ runs, like the uncommon ones. So this here, once you have all these items salvaged from your shielded champ runs, you'll want to open up your market with, I think, the V key. And all of these materials are for hero items, so they're all listed on the hero item market and not the resource market.
So what do you want me to pull up now?
Push V and open up the marketplace. So the item market, because these are all hero resources, if you go to the bottom right and you hit sell, you can now sell these unbound materials that you gathered. Everything that you get sells for the minimum price except for silver and gold dust.
Sell for the
So you can list it for 5,713. And then just set it to 3 days and confirm listing. Or the server can lag because events.
Now what?
Nice. Perfect timing. Okay, so we'll just assume that you have listed all of your items and you've sold them for the minimum price, except silver for 1,500 each and gold for 1,700 each. And what that is you've spent like 20,000 silver,
1,500,
and you will get a return. Yeah, somewhere around there. You will get a return somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 30k. So every time you do this, you make around 50% more silver than you put into it, right? You're paying a little bit of bronze to snowball your silver reserve, right?
Yeah.
And by doing this, you can easily get like 4 or 5, 600,000 silver. And then when you go buy unit kits, you can either buy them off the marketplace if they're cheap, or just buy them out of the window when you go to replace them by unchecking the box that says spend bronze coins first. You don't have any silver now to do it, but like if you went back to the IPGs and you go to redo their unit kits, you can do it with silver now instead of bronze. There's very few things that you actually want to spend bronze on.
So like
if you click that, and then you, if you buy these unit kits off the market, you can use the unit kits that you have, so you own 2 already, and then this is only silver cost. So ideally, now you just buy the Imperial Pike unit kits, and then you just manually do your resupply instead of using bronze for it. There's a few things like repairing your personal armor that you have to use bronze for. You can't use silver for that. And it's expensive as fuck. Like, I don't know if you've taken any durability damage right now, but like, the last time I repaired my armor, it cost me 97,000 bronze. That's a lot. I don't have 97,000 bronze for armor all the time. But the biggest reason to do this is because when you're crafting with bound materials, you have to use your bronze and stuff, right? To get like either more powered with silver or less. And every new player, when they come into the game right now, you have to start working towards getting the gear that has leadership on it to put you on par with everybody else. And like, there is the Fame armor that you can get from the Fame store, but you can't wear that after purple lock because the Fame armor is way too squishy. Like, it doesn't have health rules on it. The defensive attributes are low. The set bonus for like the heavy armor is half of what the set bonus is for guardsmen and so on. So while you get a little bit of leadership off it, you're a XP pinata for any other hero that wants to come beat you to death.
I don't know why you're sounding like this. For some reason, you just switched to like robot mode.
Oh, my bad. I'm probably lagging a little bit.
Well,
but yeah, so now you would just every day.
Hang on, stop talking. You're not coming through anything right now. I can hear you now. Say something. Okay.
What I was saying is now You want to go do the chanfrons, you want to salvage them, and then you want to get the resources back. And then you want to take that silver and make more silver out of it, right? You want to keep making money with your silver. And then once you have like 400,000 or 500,000 silver, you have a little bit of a leeway to buy, you know, some artillery gear, or buy some unit kits and stuff like that, and like spend it where you need to spend it.
So what are steel ingots for then?
So the steel ingots are for crafting your gear set, right? You can sell all those too when the market eventually unbugs. But one of the big things is they are going to give you a lot of rare armor schematics, like the ones that you have in the top left of your inventory right now. But those are bound rare armor schematics, and when you use a bound rare armor schematic, you have to use bound materials for it. And the number one way to get bound materials is the same way that you get unbound materials, which is you go buy the green chanfrons, and then you start salvaging them. But when you do this, you have to use bronze coins for it, and it will cost you a fortune starting out. Which is like the game gives you a few million bronze, right? But they give you a few million bronze, assuming that somebody is eventually going to find you and tell you how to use it so that you can get armor with it. Because it will straight up cost you 1.5 million bronze to get your armor set. But once you have it, you have it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So, have you been introduced to crafting? Like, has anybody walk you through how to craft some armor, some leadership gear?
Hawaiian did a bit, but he mainly said just to keep crafting until you get leadership on it or something.
Yeah, okay, so just for the sake of the argument here, and we'll just put it all into one video that we could just share with new players. Let's go get, go to your smith and see if you can craft your short bow user. So let's say, do you have a leadership chest piece yet?
No.
Okay, so let's do a chest piece. Let's do a light armor chest piece. So we'll do rogue's armor. Do you have enough here? So because you're using a bound schematic, you have to use bound materials, and because you're using bound materials, you have to get those by salvaging the bronze purchased chanfrons from the horse seller. So we'll just craft it, and we'll see if we get leadership. Ideally, we get leadership on the first roll because it makes the argument really easy. Okay, so if you hover over it, there's no leadership roll. So the only two things you can do with this rogue's armor now is you can either salvage it and get a very small amount of materials back, or more ideally, you can go donate it to the Fame Envoy, and they will give you fame for it.
Yeah.
But you're out of materials, so just go buy some chanfrons and salvage the chanfrons, and we'll get some more materials. We'll try it again. The only 3 rolls that anybody cares about on armor is you have to get a leadership roll, because it's not worth doing anything on a piece of gear unless it has leadership on it. The second one you're looking for is health, and the third one you're looking for is critical resistance. Those are the big 3 armor stats. With the reforged system in the game now, how the workflow works is you go to the crafter, you craft a chest piece, for example, and it has plus 18 leadership on it. And then you would take that leadership, the 18 leadership chest piece, to the, I think it's the armor that's by the smith, and go to the reforged thing. And then when you go to reforge the chest piece, you can lock the leadership roll on the armor. And then you roll the other stats, and you just hope that you hit health and critical resistance. But if you don't hit health and critical resistance, that's okay, because you can keep reforging that gear now and keep the leadership roll locked, and you don't have to go craft new leadership gear. The hardest part of getting your armor set is getting that first piece of gear that's got leadership on it.
There's nothing really much I can do.
No. Not really.
Get more.
It's also worth noting that I think the max leadership roll is 25, but you can craft 25 leadership. So while most stats, when you reforge them, they have a higher top end than they do crafted, leadership is like, it's one of the odd one out, where you can just straight up craft a plus 25 leadership piece of gear. Unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure you can just straight up craft a plus 25 leadership piece of gear. And once you already have that roll, you can reforge that one and not need to worry about locking it because it's not ever going to go up anyway by reforging. But all the other stats, like say if you crafted a really good piece of gear with a health roll on it, when you go reforge it, it could have rolled a better health roll. But you're locking it now at a lower value. Leadership isn't like that, so there's no penalty, there's no drawback to locking leadership. The other thing here is like because you saw how we were snowballing our silver, right? Because it's only a small bronze tax, but you're always making like 50% more silver than you're putting into it. Eventually, you'll have enough silver that you can just buy unbound schematics off the marketplace and then use your unbound resources to craft, and that's basically free. You're going to be able to do that, and the only thing you're spending on that is the little bit of bronze tax you paid to salvage all these materials. And that's way cheaper than trying to roll it with bound materials. Unfortunately, the game gives you a fuck ton of like bound armor schematics, like the bound rare armor schematics, and the only thing you can do with it is use the bound materials. Like if you're really patient and you can snowball like 5, 6, 700,000 silver, it's more efficient to craft the unbound armor pieces than it is to try and use the rare armor schematics that the game gives you. I honestly think the rare armor schematics they give you in the battle pass are bait for players to spend money. But then, like, yeah, getting 600,000 silver is a very time-consuming thing. Eventually, you hit a point where you're putting so many resources on the market, they're not selling in like a daily time frame, right? Like a 24-hour window. So I think you kind of just have to do both, and you just have to eat the premium bronze cost on it. And I wish there was a way to like salvage these things faster. Like it is so slow.
I wish they stacked.
Yeah, that too. 90% of the time when I'm like queued for a siege, like we're waiting around to get into a siege and knock them, I'm just sitting there running back and forth between